What, my shit?
Yeah, you're fit, dude. You gotta stand up, show the pants. You gotta get like some matching orange sneakers with that, and you'd be like
the fucking moccasins of the dog shit, dude. Nah, you were
the chompasins.
The scockasins are falling apart at the seams.
Born Fly.
Yeah, it's like some shit from Foreman Mills that I got for $20 for the set. Like,
dude, this shit is hard.
Dude, I mean, like, you can dress like a fucking...
It looks like some, not Gucci, but like some type of like shit a rapper would wear.
It's real loud. Like, it's like real obnoxious.
Like, I can't think of the brand it would be, but it looks like some expensive shit.
Like Sean John or something.
But like I just know that it's you, so I'm like, this definitely is something you bought at a rest stop. Like,
yeah, it's some shit that I found in a dumpster.
Like, I know you didn't just drop it. It looks like something that could be like $1,000, like some fucking fancy Adidas fit or something. But like
when Casey and I were hanging out, like I was down in Wilmington, we checked into the hotel and then I went up and got changed. I put on the snake jacket and I came down in the snake jacket and like she's like, oh my fucking god, I like just saw the fucking back of that jacket. Like, that's the fucking dumbest shit ever.
It's just hard.
But like, how much do you think I paid for this jacket? And she's like, I actually don't know, because like I was like, because it could
$47,000.
I was like, it could be really low or it could be like astronomically high, right? And she's like, yeah, I can't put my finger on it. We asked that, like, before she answered, we went and asked the desk clerk, and the desk clerk was like, I'm gonna say like $10. And Casey was like, I'm gonna say like, because I know you, like 150, and I was like, $5
I was gonna guess like $50 or something.
Yeah, $5, man.
Where?
Foreman Mills, man.
This guy's just dripped out. You're like me in high school, dude. You're an idiot. When we were like 15, all right, me, Tyler, Coos, and Port, and I think Wes, Brian might have done it too. There was a bunch of the guys on varsity did it, and like I tagged along. I was on JV. I sucked, but like I got to ride along with Tyler, and what we did. Everyone went to Foreman Mills and got like, we had to wear suits to every game.
Oh yeah.
So it was like it might have been the last game of the year or some fucking bullshit where everyone, like Tyler's was like yellow pants and like a bright blue blazer. Like it was like
I remember
straight
that.
out of a Kodak Black music video. Like just like pastel. Like Port's was like green and white, and
Eddie Hare's was pink.
Mine was purple.
Eddie Hare's was pink.
They all got sweater vests and stuff too.
Yeah, they showed up at my house for a Halloween party for a party or some shit like that, and then like they showed up, but like I know that they got it for hockey, but they showed up dressed in the same shit.
We wore it to a Halloween party to my sister's too. Yeah, and I think we originally got it for hockey for some reason, like as a goof.
There were like not the entire getup, because like I saw them in the entire getup, but like the suit portion of it, like not like the sweater. It was just like the tie and like the jacket. I think Eddie might have worn his like pants and jacket or something like that. They came here for New Year's. It cost
less than $30 for a full suit.
Dude,
it was like $17.
Like this.
I had white pants and like a purple fucking blazer and like a purple sweater vest, dude. I was looking like Bill Cosby out here, dude.
I was gonna say, like, I was actually trying to like guess your size. I didn't want to just be like overly presumptuous, be like extra large and like make you feel bad or something.
Not extra large. That's me on the low end, dude. I've been a 3X in my life, dude. XL is like goals.
I was all right. Fuck. Like I should have just.
I'm about an XL now. I was down to a medium when I was at my lowest.
Damn, man.
I'm like, I could rock a medium. I was 175. I was like sickly looking though.
Respectable.
Now I'm about 225. Fucking really put it on since the kid's been born.
You have a fucking kid, like it's excusable.
It's so gay. I used to like look at people who had kids and then they would get fat and I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Nerd.
I'm keto king for life, and now I'm just like, I'm gonna eat half a box of Oreos. I'm like, I don't know why I'm gaining weight. Dude, my lunch this afternoon was a fucking 4 slices of cheese, 4 slices of turkey and cheese sandwich with mayo, and then I wrapped it up with a Chef Boyardee chicken, rice, and vegetables bucket. Throwback. 880 milligrams of sodium in a can. That's like 4 bites.
Dude,
I felt like shit. And then I was like, let me really tie this in with a fucking package of Dunkaroos. I fell asleep on the couch, like sitting upright.
Like an American.
I took a walk with the baby, and then I got back, and I literally like passed out sitting upright. And Tina was like, are you all right? And I'm like, this fucking Dunkaroos are hitting, dog. Fucked up. And then I tried to take a nap, and the kid woke up after 30 minutes. Like it was like the last nap of the day, around 4:30 or 5, and he woke up after 30 minutes, and I was like zombied. And she came out and she's like, he's up, and I was like, fuck off. I was being such a god. I was like, go away.
I'm having a sodium overdose, bitch. Get out of my hair.
I was dying. This is like middle of the afternoon. I'm like, let me ruin my day. And then she made breakfast for dinner, so it was scrapple, pork roll, bacon, and eggs.
There's more. So
bro, I didn't even eat it, and then I just like she made me a plate, and I was picking at it before I left, and I was like burping and shit on the way here. I had fucking diarrhea before I left.
Chest pains.
Yeah, dude. Breakfast. I love a good like bacon and eggs, like a good spread. Dude, but every time I eat it, it fucking destroys me.
Oh hell yeah!
Toast, pork roll, bacon, eggs, scrapple. I'm like dead. I'm fucking. That's just the worst way to start off your day.
I ate one of those bowls from Village Kitchen the other day, and I mean they're good.
What are they? The scramble bowls.
Scramble bowls.
I get the country one or whatever. The potatoes.
Fucking good.
It's so fire.
So good, but
it
like
fucks you up.
Dog. Like whatever's with those.
Any takeout around here, just like it's like a death sentence.
I get it in house. I like go there and I eat it at the place, and like I still I
it's
got
the same difference.
What, like an 11-minute ride home if I'm driving Grandma Joe speed. Like less than that if you're driving a human
7 minutes.
Yeah, like human speed. Yeah. Like dog, I like had to shit by the time I got to the bridge on fucking Tyler Road.
And this is that last stretch. You're like,
you turtle heading a little bit.
You hit the light at 610. You're like, Jesus Christ. Two Mack trucks in front of you.
I was gonna say every fucking time two Lavari's trucking semis, like there's deuce and a halfs fucking making that left turn. So they gotta wait for oncoming traffic, and then the light turns yellow. And you're like, God damn it! My fucking pants are about to turn brown and just dude.
I was in a rush. I didn't have to shit, but I was rushing home because the baby had been up for a while, and I was like slacking, like rolling a blunt or whatever, and so I'm like running behind, trying to get home. I was like, yeah, I'll be there in a minute, and then I literally get behind a school bus on 50, and it stops like by Dollar General. Then like some house, then like Hunt Field, Community Center. It stopped like 6 times. I'm like, Tina, you're never gonna believe this. Like, I swear. I still had the blunt lit. Like I'm like, I'm fucking might as well make good use of time while I'm sitting here. But
you know,
hey children,
this is your future. Stay in school, stupid.
I felt like the biggest fucking scumball this morning because it was like maybe 8 a.m. and I ran some errands this morning, came home, and I was like, I deserve a fucking blunt. So I go out to my car, and I can't smoke in the house at the rental, so I just mainly smoke in my car out front. And I get out, and it's like, looks like Cheech and Chong or like the beginning of Fast Times at Ridgemont High when fucking Spicoli comes out of the van, and there's just like a cloud coming out. And the neighbor's like 7-year-old daughter was walking down the driveway, like walking to the bus stop. I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then I went by with the blunt lit, and there was some this afternoon, and that same time, and there was some dad sitting in his truck waiting for his kid to get off the bus, just dude grilling the fuck. Like I didn't even hide it. It was like my windows were down, and it was just like hanging out of my mouth like a fucking giant backwood.
That's
fuck that guy.
I mean, you're neighborly, whatever. Like
I don't even know who that guy was, but he was grilling at me like an angry parent. Like I like, what's the term? Fucking regressed or whatever back to like fucking childhood. Like I was like, I'm about to get yelled at. Like,
like, dude, that's the worst.
Intimidated me. I still feel like a kid half the time. I'm like 30, and I'm just like, that's an adult. Like,
I had this discussion with my boss one time about how I think it was like when I turned like 26 or something like that, because like we all went out for something, and it just like happened to be the week of my birthday, and we were working on the restaurant. So we go in, did a bunch of shit, and then we went out for my birthday or some shit next door. And I was telling my boss, I was like, yeah, like it's weird. Like I still don't believe that like I'm not gonna get kicked out of a liquor store or a bar.
Yeah, dude.
Like I still feel like
they don't even ask anymore, and I still show my ID when I go to buy like blunts and stuff like that. Like it's just like they're like, dude, you look old.
Shit, and we're back. All right, so I got 3 things to discuss. I guess you want to hear about my eye, because we got to plan a little bit of this out.
Sure.
Yeah. So next Wednesday, I turn 32. It's my birthday.
You're old, dude. Yeah, I'm 29. Joe's 31, turning 32.
Turning 32.
What's the B date?
March 15th.
Okay.
So my birthday's next Wednesday. And then next Thursday, I go into surgery to get a radioactive disc shoved in my eye.
The day before your birthday?
The day after.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't even drink on my birthday.
You can.
No, I can't. And also,
it's just a suggestion.
Also, I just
going hammered with a fucking bottle. I'm 32.
Doc, I'm
drinking 32 Busch Lights.
32 shots.
I only got 27. I'm still going. I'm up from last night.
You remember that fucking thing they used to do where you get punched in the arm like however many years you are or whatever?
One for good luck.
Yeah, that would be funny if the doctor's just having an anesthetic. It's like, oh, I can't feel shit. So they're just like, hey,
birthday
1, 2, 3,
pussy. You
the
fart,
nurse
he yells doorknob, start to beat the shit out of you.
I can't feel anything. I was just
He's like really hitting you.
Hey, come on, give me a scalpel. Something sharp.
Start stabbing you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Philly.
In Chinatown, it's just like an angry Asian who's heard this podcast. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's the
I sent you the thing. Just a quick aside about getting like a sponsorship on some little league around here. I think it was Ocean City. Like you would have like I guess a section of the wall or whatever.
I don't think we should be anywhere near children.
Yeah, but I was thinking like, what logo do we use? And I was like, the Asian one. And then I click on it. It's the fucking middle finger up. Isn't it?
No, it's that. It's like that. The finger pointing. That's
okay.
Yeah, it's
I was thinking of something else. Then I didn't click on it.
I could give it that.
I was just recalling.
I could put one.
Nah, we could use that logo then.
Right there.
Just don't even write podcast. Just write Blacktooth and have that logo, and people can be like, "What's this mysterious thing?
What's this mysterious?"
It's just two fucking autists smoking pot in a fucking attic.
Yeah, but So anyway, back to my eye. I have to get a tumor removed. So they're putting a radioactive disc in my face, and then I have to stay in Philly for 3 days. I'm within a mile. They have the whole thing set up where I go to a hotel, but I cannot leave the premises for 3 days because if I could die.
So break this down. It's a non-cancerous tumor?
Yes. So I've seen a couple oncologists. They're like, yeah, it's not cancer, but we can't guarantee that you're ever going to get your eyesight back to 100%, which I'm fine with. I just want to be able to see a little bit better. But it's going to be surgery, then 3 days of having a radioactive disc in my retina.
How big is this disc?
It's like
microscopic.
Not microscopic, but it's like a couple of millimeters.
And they slice it in or something?
I guess. I don't know. I'm hoping.
I don't know nothing.
I don't know. I don't want to know
Clockwork Orange shit.
Yeah, they give me a lot of Vico.
down to a chair.
You give me a lot of Vico treatment. Yeah, they're going to strap my eyes open and make me watch Hitler movies.
This is my favorite part.
That's where I kissed my ex-fiance. Yeah, dude.
I proposed where he did that speech.
Yeah.
I don't even care that she broke up with you or broke off the marriage. It was kind of a wild fucking crazy thing to
I was the one.
I was waiting for one of you guys to get cold. I didn't have the highest of hopes, to be honest with you. To be honest with both of you, if she's listening to this.
Ever since I found out that she unfriended me, everybody's coming out of the woodwork to be like, dude, that was crazy, wasn't
you're
it?
It's a fucking idiot.
No, I'm not a fucking idiot. I could have made that shit happen. Fuck that. I still am planning on getting a place in Hamburg.
People used to ask me about that and be like, is he okay?
No. Look
at me. It's Joe.
Look at me.
It's my best pal.
He's a fucking idiot.
Do you talk to him about it? I'm like, I just give him my support because what am I? They're like, what? You're not telling him not to do that? I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? As long
Who's
as he's
telling
happy.
you to tell me these things?
Everyone.
Thank you guys for all being direct with me. I appreciate that. Just because I look schizophrenic doesn't mean that I'm not.
It's not like people that would talk to you. It was like fucking Tina's dad. I was telling him about it when I was still living there, and he was like, "You gonna tell him not to do that?" And I was like, I don't know. It's not really my place. He's happy. What do I give a fuck?
Well, first off, you're a good egg for fucking saying that. Thanks, man. Bros. Yeah. Same goes.
I wouldn't want someone I was like,
I'll go over to Tina's house and tell her dad whatever the fuck about it. Jake's a good egg. Leave him alone. He's a good dad.
Todd likes me. He's good people.
I want to go shit in their pool.
I like Tina's family.
I do too. They're yeah, blame it on Hank.
Hank takes some giant shits, dude.
Dude, there's somebody leaving fucking dog fucking piles over at the fucking park that are
it's the biggest scumbag move. If you have a dog and you don't carry, it's happened. I've picked up some shit with like a fucking empty beer can on the side of the road. Like I've made
tree bark.
I've left a few turds. I'm not gonna say I haven't. The other night I couldn't find it. It's like 2 a.m. I'm like, he moved. I went back. You're looking for a turd in a pile of leaves, and it just disappears. It becomes this game of like shitty I Spy. And after like 5 minutes of standing in this old lady's yard,
brown I Spy,
it's just like I can't find it, dude. I gotta go. I just pretend to pick up some leaves, tie it up. I'm like, if anyone's watching, I fucking did my part.
Today she took a shit in the park, and I actually meant to go back and get my phone, and because I left my phone in the truck. But holy shit, if you're ever in Amanda's field, go to the back field, not the little one that's like off, not the Davies soccer field, the one with like the 2 baseball fields.
Okay.
That are 69. All right, so
there's 69. You're so retarded.
I'll post the Google.
I've never thought of that.
I was really high over there today, and I was like,
The baseball field in Tucko, what would that one be doing?
Asked him. Oh wait, let me wrap this up. So go into the field, and the baseball field that the diamond is like. You walk in, and it's the one that's closest to you. Go to the right baseline where the fence is behind that. So today, Cheyenne decided it was my bedtime reminder.
Oh my god!
Cheyenne had to take a shit, and she took a shit in a place where I didn't have a bag on me, but I already used it and threw it out. But she was like, I gotta take another shit, so like she fucking went over to this weird spot.
Double shit.
So I was like, all right. She took it in the leaves. So what I'm gonna do is there's like some twigs. I'm gonna get this like kind of like wad of twigs underneath it, and then just like get under the leaves, and it worked perfectly till I went to throw it over the fence, and my short ass just all got like caught up in the top of the fence. So there's just like
a log stuck in the fence.
There is so much shit. Like it's like unfathomable how
fucking homemade poop lacrosse.
It's like there's so much shit on the like you will look at this and be like, how did he get that much? Like, because it's not just like one log, it's like liquid and hair. It's all messed up. But yeah, dude.
Rocky had a hair stringer the other day.
They're the worst. Shitting a little dreadlock out.
I fixed the fence so I can just let him out in the yard now, so I don't have to walk him as often. And I can just let him out back on his own. Like if he starts barking, I make him come in. But normally he'll just like lay down, chill, whatever. And he must have shit. And then he'd been out there for like 15 minutes, and I didn't hear anything. So I'm like, it's kind of weird. Let me go make sure everything's cool. I open the back door. He's sitting there like squatting, like looking kind of weird. And I'm like, he goes to like shuffle back out the back door, like back out into the yard. Yeah. And he's like doing like a poop squat. I'm like, what the fuck? And there's like a giant turd just dangling by one of Tina's fucking hairs from his butt. I felt terrible because I'm like, how long has he just been like squatting with this fucking log mistletoe hanging from his fucking beehole? And then that's when you got to grab like a paper towel and like grab it by the hair, and you have to pull ever so lightly because you don't want to break the hair off inside the butthole. That's got to be uncomfortable, you know what I mean?
This is a testament to the fucking women that I date. But this one, I can't name them obviously, but the girl I dated in college that you never met, but you saw her at Renee's thing. Her family.
I met her once. Other than that, maybe once.
Maybe. Did I bring her to your place the one time?
I was like, I barely remember that. I was young, like maybe 19 or something.
You might have been, because there was like a party we went to. I can't fucking remember. I know Vince Campese was there. I don't know if Vince Campese ever went to.
There was a bunch of random people at my mom's house when I was that age. Well, until I became crippling depressed at like 21.
Yeah, no, she met Jan and fucking Tyler and like everybody, because we were all in your kitchen and you guys were smoking cigs in your kitchen.
I used to hack hella darts at my mom's house. And I would spray Febreze, and my mom would come in and be like, it smells like smoke in here. And I'm like, nah.
We walked in and we expected it to be like a blunt or something like that. And we walked in, I just remember Fisk going, ugh. So anyway, so I walked into her house one time. I went down to visit her in Maryland. And I went down to her house, and her aunt had this dog named Snickers, and it was like a mix with like an Australian Shepherd and like a smaller breed of dog. So it was like a tiny little Australian Shepherd, but it was all floofy like Shepherds are. And it was running around.
Floofy.
Yeah, it was like running around her house. And I get in there and I, say hi to my girlfriend so I can give her a kiss. I say hi to her family. And then her mom goes, oh shit, shit. Someone grab the dog. And like, everybody's like, why? What's wrong? Like the dog like grabs something. No, the dog had a piece of poop, like just a little turd, but like a noticeable turd hanging off of its like butt floof. And instead of like the kids trying to corral the dog or whatever, they all just stood around and pointed and laughed while their mom ran around trying to like chasing the dog with like a wet wipe.
At that point.
Like a wet wipe and a pair of scissors trying to get the dog's like ass. And we're just like, I'm like,
no running with scissors.
Now me and one of the other, her sister's boyfriend, like we're just kind of like used to this, so we're just kind of standing off in the wings like this is whatever, like we're just used to this at this point. But like all of the kids are like standing and pointing and like laughing hysterically while their mom is just, like, it was like, this is just kind of cruel of you guys.
Someone's got to help her out.
Yeah, I know. Like I just felt bad. But back to, because I actually remembered this because I'm wearing it. It was a nice visual reminder. Back to XL, the thing I wanted to get you, and if they still have it, I don't want to blow my wad or whatever, but if they don't have it, I want you to know that I this is what I wanted. They had a full like sweater, like not a hoodie, but like a sweatshirt and sweatpants, like a matching set, where it was Rocco's Modern Life.
Dude, I used to have the hat somewhere.
I was
Remember
like,
that hat had?
Yeah. I was like, dude, if I was gonna get him anything, I would get him this. But they didn't have an XL, and I was like, I don't know, I don't want to be presumptuous and get him like a double XL and be like fat.
I can
tits,
rock a
like,
double XL like t-shirt, but the pants would probably be too big. That's what I found. Like my Chiclets t-shirt's a double XL, and like it's big, but like it's whatever. I can like make it work. But right. The 2XL pants, even the XL pants, I've put on some fucking LBs.
What do you do? L pants, like 36?
I was before, but I probably could rock an XL sweatpant. But a 2XL sweatpant's like huge. It's like ridiculous.
I had 2XL sweatpants, and I was able to get like all the way in there and then roll it myself up from the top because I'm so small. Like I'm a very tiny person.
I had to mention the dog poop thing, and it reminded me. I mentioned Snoop.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg. I thought you meant like Snoop Dogg.
Nah. Snoop, the dog that passed away. There was Snoop's Revenge that still gets talked about, where he passed away, but then like a day or two later, they found like a pretty fresh turd under the couch or in the corner or something.
Nice.
And her dad was like, dude, Snoop's Revenge. Like, he used to just like lay out fucking beefs in his sleep, like wherever he was.
It would be funny if her dad was like just really depressed and like sleep deprived or whatever, and was like sleepwalking and just shitting in the house, and be like Snoop did it. That's like some way of mourning.
No, it was definitely a dog shit. There were so many times I'll go there to let him out, like at lunchtime, and there's a log on his bed or on the couch, just like, and the material of their couch is kind of like that, where it's like has ridges for it to get like smushed into.
Oh, just the easiest to get like.
I was just like wiping off with like a
crevices.
paper towel, and, like dish soap. I'm like, this is clean, and I'm like sleeping there with my head later. It's probably the easier way than going to the surgery. It's like the Louis C.K. bit. Like, do you have something you want to do?
I can always just kill myself.
You gotta go to the DMV, or you got a dentist appointment you don't want to do. You could just kill yourself.
You know what? I didn't kill myself.
It only works once, but it's always an option. I was like at my lowest point, and I heard that bit, and I like belly laughed. I'm like, I don't want to kill myself now.
His bit 2020, or excuse me, his special 2020, which was like the special like right before he got fucking canceled or whatever. No, 2018, I think that's what it was. But it was like one of those ones where it was like a Netflix special.
We saw him on the comeback tour in 2020. It was pretty cool.
But it was like the one right before he got canceled. He has that joke about like, as a bald man, it's the funniest fucking thing about getting beheaded like as a bald guy by ISIS, because it would be no fun for the terrorists. They just feel like they'd have to hold your head as opposed to like the.
Yeah, that's such a good bit.
And he does the face where it's like. Oh, did you see? Oh man,
that's one of those things where like you have to see it. Like you can't like listen. Like you gotta like.
Yeah.
I feel like visual is such a big part of comedy. Like you can listen to stand-up albums and they're good, but like seeing the act out really like, and seeing it live is like a fucking night and day experience too. Where it's like, I'll giggle sometimes at a Netflix special or something. I haven't watched anything recently, but something like. It's rare where I'm really laughing out loud at like when you're sitting in a room by yourself watching a fucking stand-up. But when I go to a show, I'm like like belly laughing the whole time because you're just everyone there's like it's just like you're kind of
there's energy. There's like
and
a
they're
flow
fucking they're professionals. Like they're really fucking good. Even the guys who aren't that great like still have some fucking like zingers, like some random openers, like some like basically open micers at Helium and Philly and stuff. Like dude, they're fucking awesome.
The guy that opened for was it Norman?
I appreciate all of it. I hate when like you go with some just like casual people or whatever and they're like the open people sucked and I'm like I really like saw what he was trying to put together there and like I respect like him.
I saw when I saw Norman in Raleigh when like nobody knew who he was. It was like it was bigger than when like there was like maybe like 60 people and it was like an 8 p.m. show, so like it was like the early one, but he had an opener that had one of the jokes that stuck with me to this day because it was one of the funniest jokes. Like, guys, I forget his fucking last name, but his first name was Joe. He opened for Mark Normand in like 2017, I think. Shout out Joe. He has a joke about how trying to
you could probably find it if you Googled the show or something.
Dude, I met him at a bar a couple days later, but I remembered him. He was funny as fuck because he has a joke. He was like, yeah, trying to find the clitoris is like trying to fish a marble out of a bowl of olive oil. And like that stuck with me, and I'm like days went by, and I'm chuckling about that, and then I run into him because he was like a local dude. He was just like some dude from Raleigh that did a couple open mics and got like on the slate or whatever.
And they're like, yo, Alioli Marbles, how you doing?
Dude, he was so fucking cool though. He was like, it was like, dude, that's Slate. He's like, yeah, thank you. That actually is a good springboard into something I want to discuss with you. Did you end up looking into that documentary Slippin' that I told you about?
No, there's one I put on my watch list on Prime. I forget which one. It might have been Slippin', actually.
It's the one about the Bloods in L.A.
I don't know. You told me to watch. Is it on Prime?
Yeah. Dude, like, you gotta watch it. Just because, like you gotta watch it just because it's right up your alley. It's like, it'll captivate you. It's like one of those, like, you remember when you told me about that, like, HBO documentary where they followed the junkies around that were doing like Joey Coco Diaz shit, like stealing.
No, the one you told me was Track Down.
Oh no, that's not a documentary. That's just like a regular ass movie. Slippin' 10 Years with the Bloods. It's like it's this.
You said it's on Prime.
It's on Prime. It's a free documentary. You got to watch it. It's about this like set of Bloods.
Just added it to the list.
It's about this like set of Bloods in LA, and I need you to interpret something for me because like there's stuff.
What am I the fucking voice of the streets?
Well, no, like you can understand, like you understand, like fucking rap music
Ebonics.
Shit. Kinda. I don't fucking. There's just something that occurs in like.
I'm invited to the cookout. Like, we can say it.
I mean, like they just do something that
I support the culture.
I didn't understand like the logic behind it, but it's like when you see it, you'll understand. But there's this part where they're cooling in front of their house. It's 93. No, that's 93. That's what they're cooling and
they're bowling. If they're the Bloods.
Well, whatever.
Come on, dog.
No. They still say crabs when they see crabs. They're like, yo, man, there's crabs all over the place. So I think what the problem is that these dudes are Crips but like there's like this part where these guys just like, yeah, if my boys wasn't around, I would just go out there and smoke these fools. And I was like, well, wouldn't you like go out there with your boys and like, show like, yo, this is what's up, like. But he's like, yeah, my boy. Like, he makes a point of it being like, yeah, my boys wasn't around. I'd fucking go out there and fucking shoot them motherfuckers.
Does he mean like his sons?
No, that's what I thought too. But like, no, he's just like hanging out in front of his house, getting high and like drinking a 40.
Well, maybe he can't just go like kill someone without like a green light. Yeah. Like it could be like Italian mafia type. Like you gotta get the fucking.
I didn't think about it.
That's just a guess.
I didn't think about that angle.
You might not be able to just.
He just seemed like really aggressive about it, but like I mean, it's like street bravado. He's probably drunk as fuck, like,
Yeah, showing out for the camera.
Like I don't know. It's just like one of those ones where I need you to watch this so you can explain shit to me because I have
his
questions.
Boys might be doing something else too. They might be hustling crack, and they're like,
they are definitely hustling crack.
Man, you can't be shooting this guy at noon.
Well,
we got a lot of money to make today.
But then they start shooting a gun off like the next scene. They're just shooting a fucking gun off in the sky.
That's fine. It's like fireworks.
Okay, but is that a thing? Like,
it's not a homicide.
Okay.
It's not going to make the block quite as hot as a dead body in the street.
This is why I needed you to watch this with me because like I'm just like so confused. Like I know that it's like hood rat shit, but it's like okay, no, there's like logic here, and then it turns out
there's no logic.
But you can understand where like lapse in logic like starts. I don't like, dude. You just got to see it because like then there's parts where they're like, there's this guy in the beginning. His name is like KK, and it's no spoilers or anything, but like he gets shot and killed. But like
R.I.P. KK.
But like they're like reminiscing about him the whole time, and they're like, he was a good man. He was doing all this shit. I mean, he had a lot of beef around town. He smoked a lot of fools. Like, yeah, he shot at a couple of people. And it's like, they just completely disrespect him.
KK had 14 bodies.
Yeah, like, and then, like, everybody's just, like, real nihilistic. I don't know. Just watching a report back.
Gang culture is it's wild.
It's fascinating to me,
and
though.
It's all over the country. Like,
okay.
There's, like... It's not just like South Central LA or like Detroit or
Do
Chicago.
you want me to ruin a little bit of it for you?
No, I hate when you do that.
Okay, fine. No, I won't.
I'll probably watch it tonight because I gotta watch something when I get home. I got a little.
The ending
when my old man night. I'm like, I'm gonna watch a film tonight.
I'm going to partake in a documentary.
Just me smoking a blunt in my car, watching a movie on my iPhone like this. But I prop it up on the steering wheel, so I'm just like, fucking wrap it up because I'm like on the fucking phone with you, like, ha ha ha. Penis! Like, just like yelling obscenities in the yard.
You gotta respect our art form.
This is my livelihood. This is my job.
Unfortunately, this is how we make. This is how I keep a roof over my head.
Yeah.
And then these fly clothes.
We lost a patron.
We did?
Yeah, we had 2. We're down to 1.
Damn it, dude.
Darn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I got something that we could actually put on Patreon that I want to. So
I have to give you the login. I need the login for the YouTube so I can start uploading shorts.
Yeah, I was actually fucking around with that today. I actually might start doing that myself too, but I'll give you the login for that. That's the wave, dude. That's how we hit the algo. We got to do clips on TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Pornhub.
Might be onto something. It's just us with our shirts off.
Yeah, two gays, two bears,
fat lesbian, bald homosexual.
Cackle.
Snorting. I don't know why.
I don't know either. You want some of that snuff tobacco stuff?
No.
All right. So I've been a long time reader and fan of the publication Weird New Jersey. I don't know if you're familiar, but if you go into any bathroom in my house, there's a Weird New Jersey at your fingertips. I love
my grandpa, but Playboys.
I mean, like, it's been one of my favorite magazines. It's like all the ghost hunting and UFOs and Bigfoot sightings and shit like that. Yeah, it's all under one.
Where do they sell those? I feel like I've seen those around.
They sell them at like bookstores and shit. But there's one at that bookstore by the mall that they have like a huge display case, and it's like you get all the back issues and shit. So cool. Like, yeah, like anytime like I'm like going on a plane or a bus or something like that, I fucking grab like 3 issues and just read because it's actually kind of soothing. But this, I absolutely am going to need the Patreon to show you this, but
there is something nice about a tangible magazine or book.
Yeah.
I mean,
analog's nice.
I read Stanhope's book on my phone or a tablet or something. I was on the Amazon Kindle app or whatever the fuck. It's just, it works, but it's not the same as like something old school about just fucking reading a real magazine versus like being on like weirdnj.com and perusing articles. Is just not as satisfying. Like
once in a while, I actually do have porn that I just fire up in the DVD player.
Nice, that's like, pretty cool.
And you gotta manually fast forward that shit with a remote, which is like embarrassing. And it's like you go too far. It's like, shit, I don't want to see the black guy. No. Okay, now we're back. She's dressed again. You
I nutted while I was rewinding. God damn it.
Exactly. But yeah, so that actually is a nice segue into what I will need to put on the Patreon, because I'm going to be scanning and uploading all these. I'm going to make a longer version.
Is that legal?
It's not
like copyright infringement.
No, it just you'll see why. This gentleman, and feel free to read. It's the first couple of pages of this, and then there's another dog ear in there, but I'm going to read that. But yeah, this is the story of David Huggins. And just read that first, not the big one. Read the first line there and look at some of the photos. No, like read it aloud, stupid.
Oh, I thought this was going on the Patreon. Like it was private.
No. Like
my apologies.
No. I mean, like I'm gonna scan the pictures and shit because the pictures are fucking hilarious. No, they get better too.
Intergalactic intercourse. David Huggins has sex with aliens, and he'll be the first to admit it. Since the documentary of his encounters, Love and Saucers, by filmmaker Brad Abrahams, premiered November 2017, David has been somewhat in the spotlight, relating his lifelong cohabitation with otherworldly beings since he was 8 years old. Fucking pedo aliens, dudes.
You don't have to read the rest of it. But
E.T. just fucking raped him. That one looks like fucking E.T.
That's what just the photos are fucking hilarious. Like, because he paints all these from memory. He's
told these tales many times. He's never wavered from the details. He is very straightforward and doesn't care if anyone believes him. He's not one for notoriety. He does not know what Weird NJ magazine is. Up until recently, even his neighbors didn't know his story. We met with David in his Hoboken home to talk about what it's like to have alien visitations, quote unquote, welcomed or not, and the paintings that evolved from his experiences. Rather than the Q&A, we let David speak for himself. I'm intrigued.
I mean, it is an interesting article, but just look at the photos. No, just go through the photos, because the photos are what's funny, because it's like, dude, I'm telling you,
getting rode by a fucking alien in the woods.
He's just
what a fucking weirdo. This is mental illness.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just a picture of him naked with his dong out, and there's a bunch of orbs floating around.
The one where the ladies,
one they're like shoving a knife up his nose or something.
The one where the aliens just
fucking sad in that one. He's like, that was not a fun memory.
No, that was not a fun memory. They shoved the fucking.
You hurt me.
They gave me a lobotomy.
I was about 9 years old. I was taken out of the house. We floated up to some kind of machine with one of the little grays. This woman comes in and has a long silver wand, and she thrusts it up my nose, then removes it. I remember saying, "You hurt me." She says, "I'll make the pain go away." And she did. What the fuck,
with
dude?
Sex.
So it's okay to talk about 9-year-olds having sex with aliens.
I think if it's you're talking about yourself having sex with, like, look at the next, like, that's the shit he's. So, do you know who Whitley...
Making baby aliens.
Yeah, you don't know who Whitley Schreiber is, do you? Because this is like...
This was the first time I realized I had a baby, which was rather a shock for me. I was living on 87th Street in New York City when the wall suddenly opened up and there was a crescent. She was very upset and distressed. She said, "David, the baby is dying." I said, "What baby? Show me my baby." She held the baby... She held the baby up by the arms and showed me. I said, "No, don't hold the baby like that. Cradle it."
Don't kick the baby.
I told Crescent, "Don't eat it." I told Crescent that I have to come in there to see the baby. She said it wasn't allowed. I go to lay in my bed and instantly pass out. Then suddenly I am there, wherever there is. There were a few grays, some females, and I think 3 of the insect-like beings. One comes over to me very upset, saying, "What are you doing here?" I said, "My baby's dying. My baby's dying."
My wallet is gone.
He brings me to the... He brings... I don't even know if that's from.
It's from Seinfeld. I've just been fucking Seinfeld chipping.
He brings me to the baby and I reach out and touch it. When I did, some static electricity jumped from my hand to the baby. I did it again and the same thing happened. We then go into another room and there are all these alien babies. They were all stacked up in little cases. So I guess I'm there for one reason, to touch or heal all the babies. For some reason, I unzipped my pants. For some reason, the human touch does something to them. I think I have fathered hundreds of hybrid children. The next morning, I wake up and I can hardly move. I am completely exhausted.
Yeah, man.
I had to go fuck all these alien babies.
I gotta fucking plow them. These babies are fucked.
That is certainly weird, New Jersey.
Yeah, it certainly is, right?
Holy shit.
He's like, it's like a crude knockoff of that Whitley Schreiber guy who made the. I did a review, and I actually had to double check it on my other channel, Under the Influencer, when I did movie reviews. This movie called Communion, which has Walken in it, and it's about Walken getting abducted by aliens.
Oh, my name's Christopher Walken.
He's actually, there's like a scene. There's a scene where he's like actually like really doing a good job, but he does the fucking most Walken voice ever.
No, he's a great actor. He's just fun to like.
It's like a really intense, suspenseful scene where this like alien is like creeping around in his house, and he's just sitting there like in a chair, and he's like, "Hey, I know you're there." It's fucking Walken, and then the thing sticks its head around the corner. And you're like, "Ah, shit!" But yeah,
there's nothing better than the one scene in that one movie where he's like. The one guy's like, "Do you know where Sicilians come from?" He's like,
"Yeah, True Romance."
It's so fucking good.
Your ancestors were
The big hustle apparently in like, I guess cities all over the country, but like Atlanta, it's selling water bottles for $1.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the young kids do it, where they just get a cooler and some ice. And
I was gonna say, do you see the thing on like the reels?
Like a lot of money, $3 or $4 fucking case of water.
The reels, like the kids are getting like in school suspensions and shit for doing that at their schools, where they're like, you can get a Sam's Club membership for $17 a year as a kid with a student ID, and then you can go to Sam's Club and spend $45 on soda and pretzels and snacks and shit like that, and then sell it for 25 cents cheaper than all the machines, and then like. You go through the reels and it's like the kids are getting like kicked out of school for like a week.
I got shut down.
Yeah, they're like trapping.
I was literally buying candy from Sam's Club and I was trapping it in 6th grade.
Yeah.
My mom was selling candles. She was making candles and selling them.
Thank you for your service.
And I loved these. It started as like I just loved them, and we would have to go all over trying to find them. It was called like Two Tart. It was like this candy spray shit.
I remember that shit. It was like the Airhead stuff, but
yeah,
but it wasn't the suckers. You said it's like a spray.
There was other candies
you could like drop it on your tongue. Right?
Yeah, they had a bunch of different variations, but I was obsessed with that shit. And she was like, "I'm not gonna keep supporting your fucking Two Tart habit. Like you got to start fucking flipping this. You got
to start slagging that shit."
But no, it was like. It was the same time where she was doing like selling candles, so she was like, you could, like, I had friends that wanted it and shit, and she was like, you could buy this box at Sam's Club for like, I think it might have been $8, and there's like 40 candies in there, and you just sell them for $1 a piece. And like, I flipped like multiple boxes of fucking Two Tarts. Lasted like 2 or 3 weeks, like, and it was just selling itself. Like, I just had like 30 of them bitches in my book bag.
You don't sell no dope,
$30 when you're like 11 years old. Like,
yeah,
I was like, dude, I'm balling out of control. And then someone dined me out, and like, Mr. Barth fucking shut me down. He's like, you can't be fucking selling candy. I'm like, what?
And you should have been like, I don't sell no dope, man. Dope sell itself. Fucking sue me. They don't
get it from me. They're gonna get it from the fucking Wawa up the street, dog.
Dog, like, I mean,
it's my turf.
Look, I can ask the age. I can figure out if
what
they
if I give you $5 a day of my profits?
Look, listen.
I'll cut you in. I'll give you two Tarts and 5 fucking K.
Listen, I'll tell you what. You get 5% of my action, but every month, and I'm talking the 15th, not the 14th, not the 16th, I'm gonna have an envelope with 6 crisp $1 bills, and I expect that on my fucking desk in homeroom. Or else I'm gonna have a fucking serious problem with you. All right.
Or else I'm gonna send Timmy Van down here to break your fucking kneecaps.
Send fucking Stu over here.
Timmy the pit bull.
We're gonna send fucking Tony Grilly down here. He's gonna fucking go fucking crazy on you with the fucking he's gonna fucking rip your eyes out, kid.
And I didn't know if you meant like ghost guns or like 3D printed guns or some fucking shit like that. Or
well, here, let's go back on this. What's your curiosity on all that? Because I
didn't have one. I just thought maybe that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, the ghost gun thing down there is kind of wild. I've heard
Is the ghost gun a 3D printed gun, or is it just like a stolen gun with a serial number scratched off? Or
3D printed gun, not a 3D printed component gun, because that's usually like a lower with a serial number, but like an entirely outright 3D printed gun is a ghost gun, because there's no serial number. It's not regulated by, it's not been tax stamped, so they don't know where it came from, who the fuck it is. There's no buddy that's claiming ownership to that gun.
Ghost gun bullets, though, because if you killed someone hypothetically, couldn't they still track the bullets?
Yeah, they could still match it to the chamber, but it's like it doesn't have a serial number, so there's like no database to base it on. Especially if it's like some fucking random thing you just downloaded off the internet. Like they're not going to be able to
dark web, VPN, all that shit.
Well, you could get the schematics like without just go on a fucking forum for 3D printing and be like 3D printing ghost gun or whatever, because it's not illegal to possess that. Like if you print it and then load it and then fire it, you've just committed a felony because you manufactured.
If you have the components, it's not.
Yeah, it's like one of those
illegal until assembled, loaded.
It's one of those ones where that now it's getting into a gray area because I have no fucking idea legally like how far along in the process you're allowed to go. But yeah, like you can to a certain extent, like
it's a model.
Yeah, no firing pin or exactly, something like that. But not all ghost guns are. Not all ghost guns are 3D printed guns, but all 3D printed guns for the most part are the most.
What else would a ghost gun be?
Just a gun that you scratch the serial number off of. A gun that, like, let's say you go to a gun show and you're not a savvy person, and you're buying a gun from a sketchy person, and you get, like, let's say it's really only your like lower receiver, but like let's say you buy an AR and the lower receiver has like a serial number printed on it, but then like the barrel and like the upper receiver has like a different serial number printed on it. That's not entirely illegal, but like that's something about that, like in the transaction, that's not gonna look good, and I wouldn't fuck with that.
Could it just be an aftermarket part though? Like the gun was being parted out or something?
Well, it very well could be, but there's like certain times and certain places where that makes sense. Like I have my Yugo, so a lot of it's like re-stamped, but like there's a certain point in the restamping process where everything is consistent, because it's like, okay, the stock came from here, the barrel came from here, but like as it kind of grows, all of the stamps match up, so like the furthest stamp, they should all be the same one, and there's like a way, like the serial number and the stamps are two different things, but like they're one and the same. It's like that's how you identify the gun, is like, okay, this was manufactured at this factory on this day because this is the stamp, and then like when the modification was made, they repress the barrel so that it says like mine was made in Yugoslavia. That country doesn't fucking exist anymore. So it was imported to Springfield, Massachusetts to, I forget, Rock Island or Springfield, one of the two. So it says Springfield Arms, Springfield, Massachusetts now on the barrel. But there's some Russian shit that's like printed on there, some Cyrillic that they've, etched out or whatever. That's not a ghost gun, because now there's something that's on there that still identifies where the gun came from. And obviously the numbers and everything. But if I was to just take a file and file that shit off, then ghost gun. Because they would know I bought it. It'd be a fucking stupid ghost gun, because it's like I shoot someone with an 8mm Mauser, regardless of if I filed the serial number off or not. I bought it with a credit card. They can figure out where I bought it from. So like, yeah,
I have a buddy that passed away, and he would tell me about. He was with me when I like lost my fucking marbles on the fucking the I Do Cool Things wave.
Yeah.
And it was like the last night. I was like, I gave away all my weed. I fucking ate the last of my mushrooms. Fucking in front of after having like a mental breakdown in front of like 10 people at my house, and I had the jar with the shake, the bottom of the ounce of or whatever, and I just chugged it, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like,
"Send it."
Yeah, no, don't send it.
No, absolutely send
treat hallucinogenics with respect. But this kid hung out with me, and I was like, yeah, like. I was like, I'm done doing drugs. Like, I don't want to do like illegal shit anymore. Like, this is stupid. Like, I was coming to like actually having this like awakening. Like, I'm fucking up. This is retarded. Like, I need to like stop drinking and doing drugs all the time. Like, I'm being a fucking idiot. And he was like, nah. Like, you need to do like bigger crimes. Like, he's like, I've been like filing serial numbers off handguns and sounding to these old guys in like the villas or something.
That is like a super fucking felony. Holy shit.
He's like, I've been selling steroids to these corrections officers and shit, dude, making a killing. Yeah.
Who's this guy?
He passed away. Okay. I'd rather not disrespect him.
Better off. But no. Just I was gonna say, if this person's alive, like I definitely have to bleep names. But no, okay.
No, we weren't like great. Like we probably hung out maybe 10 to 20 times, but
well, there was this guy that I worked with. It was kind of the same exact terms, where it was like I didn't really hang out with him, but I knew him. We went to the bar maybe like 2 or 3 times when I worked with him, but nothing. I didn't hang at his house. He didn't know where I lived. None of that shit. Just some guy I knew from work.
He like saved my life that night though. He was like, aside from that one minute conversation, like he was great. He like talked me off the ledge, hung out with me till like 6 a.m.
No, that's straight.
Drank fancy beer with me. I still actually have the beer glass that. It was like one of those small ones that you drink like the fancy champagne beer shit out of.
Yeah, the little fucking champagne flute thingy.
Yeah.
The little cordials.
Yeah, he let me keep it. Still got it. R.I.P. buddy.
Yeah. A volcano.
All murder victims.
I told you Yussel's logic on that. Yussel wants to get a volcano, like he wants to buy property near a volcano. I was like, well, what happens when the volcano erupts and decimates your house? And he's like, I don't care. I want a volcano so I don't have to worry about trash. And I was like, you're just going to, that's your whole logic.
Walk up to a volcano.
You're going to walk up to the volcano with your
bicycle melt your tires.
Throw shit. Yeah, if people piss me off, I'll go push them to the volcano. Like, okay, buddy.
Sounds legit.
His logic is fucking flawless. I love him. I can't wait to get him on the pod.
You need like a spacesuit to get like 3 miles from the fucking volcano or whatever.
Apparently there's like something I read about Pompeii too. That's an interesting.
Pompeii used to fascinate me as a kid.
Did you ever see the guy that fucking found all the graffiti in Pompeii? That was fucking so cool.
No, I didn't.
Well, okay, so the thing that I read was that, like, apparently there was noxious gases coming out of Pompeii, so, like, apparently people were, like, stripping down naked and running around fucking, like, acting like a fool, like, an hour or so before Pompeii, so it should have been, like, a precursor where people were like...
That's why the one guy got found jerking off.
Yeah, which apparently that's not what it was. He contorted from rigor mortis or whatever. But, yeah, like, apparently the gases were making people do, wild fucking shit, so that's funny to me. But yeah, this guy who was like doing a study, like a survey of like the architecture of all like the Pompeii, like basically like all the stuff that was like submerged in ash that they had to like excavate. There's graffiti on all of it, and he translated all of the fucking graffiti, and it's mostly like, so and so is a good whore, she sucks a good dick, and then like blah blah blah, so and so doesn't pay his debts, he is a bad banker. So Joe was here. Like, it's just regular
basic ass graffiti.
Graffiti that you would, like, if it was like a little bit worded differently, you would be indistinguishable from modern graffiti. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah.
For a good time.
So it says mom's a whore.
Send the telegram too.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. What did you learn about Pompeii? Because I want to know. I didn't mean to steamroll on that.
Nothing. I just remember being a kid and they taught it in school, and it was just one of those events that stuck out to me. I don't know.
Well, one of the events that stuck out to me, Jacob, is the Titanic.
This guy getting molested by aliens.
Yeah, the guy getting molested by aliens.
Fathering alien babies at 9.
The Titanic. The Titanic is a fascinating fact. And also, we got some conspiracy theories there. We can run a little long on this, too, but I want to get the last little bit of video just so that hopefully we can get some reaction out of you. But I enjoy my Weird New Jersey publication, and I did not know until today that Jersey is home to a very obscure celebrity. It's a person that is like the only person in the world, and he is the last person that has ever...
Dilbert.
Yeah, Scott Adams. He's the last white person that's going to ever be allowed in Harlem. No, anyway. Boo. Yeah, there we go. So the last person that ever was on the Titanic, the last person recorded being seen leaving the Titanic as it was sinking, was from New Jersey. That gentleman's name...
Was he the captain?
No. The captain was supposed to go down with the ship, if I understand correctly, but didn't. And
yeah, fuck that.
Or no. Wait, no, I'm mixing that up with something.
Supposed to get off last or something.
Yeah, the captain went down. The captain of the Titanic went down. Yeah, or he killed himself or something. I forget which. But
no way.
I forget which.
Well, we gotta Google that.
I was gonna say, I forget.
Change to the story.
I forget if the Titanic captain was or if that's the movie, or if that was like something I'm misconstruing completely. I think he killed himself though, like as it was going down. I know he had a white beard. He was played by Sean Connery.
Was a British naval officer. Edward John Smith served as the master of numerous White Star Line vessels. He was captain of the RMS Titanic.
White Star Line
and perished when
ties to the Rothschilds.
I believe it.
Well, apparently the reason
the Titanic was some creepy shit. They whacked a bunch of people. Yeah, and they got insurance money.
JP Morgan's family or whatever, and then he was like the one that wasn't on there. And yeah, but
it's creepy.
Yeah,
they make a movie about it. You know it's creepy, but it says he was the captain of the Titanic and perished when the ship sank on her maiden voyage.
Yeah, so I guess he just went down with the ship. I forget if there might have been rumors he killed himself. I don't fucking know. But anyway, this guy's name.
There's conflicting accounts. His final moments remain a mystery. So he might have.
Maybe he slipped out with the rest of the crew. All right, so this guy's name is Charles John Joughin, Joughin. Jan. Fair enough. All right, so Mr. Charles John Joughin was born in West Float, Birkenhead, Cheshire, England, but lived out his final years in Paterson, New Jersey. He was immortalized in 2 Hollywood movies as chief baker on the RMS Titanic, having survived the sinking of the luxury steamship at the early hours of April 15, 1912. Witnesses said he was the very last person to step off the vessel as it disappeared beneath the frigid waters of the North Atlantic. Charles had begun a life at sea at age 11 in the early 1900s. He ended up on board the Titanic for a delivery ship from Belfast to Southampton on April 4th, 1912. Joughin was offered the position of head baker to a staff of 13 or a baker's dozen to assist him in his duties. He and his crew, along with 2,222 others, had their destiny sealed as they departed for New York on the ship's ill-fated maiden voyage. They were just days away from what would go down in history as the world's first maritime disaster. Baking bread on the Titanic may not seem too exciting, but one of Johann's other responsibilities was overseeing the ship's liquor stockpile, which included 15,000 bottles of champagne, 1,500 bottles of wine, 20,000 bottles of beer, 850 bottles of spirits, 70 cases of cognac, and 191 cases of assorted liquor. Johann was off duty and in his bunk at 11:40 p.m., the time the ship's collision with the iceberg on April 14th. The impact startled him, and he soon realized the ocean liner was in danger, so he began to make preparations and provisions for the lifeboat with bread sometime around 12:15 a.m. He gathered his staff in their bake shop on D deck.
Making a lifeboat out of loaves of bread.
That would be fucking funny. Just float away. Wait, we need a sail.
He's got a baguette. It's a fucking oar.
He's nibbling it, so it's like
pizza dough as a fucking sail.
Yeah. Johann assisted in the evacuation, loading women and children into lifeboats, even running back into the foundry in the ship to find more passengers. And I guess he was giving them loaves of bread as they were getting evacuated. I glossed over that. After doing his best to rescue as many people as he could, Johann began to think about his own fate. Using his staff key, he entered the stockroom and helped himself to a bottle of booze.
Hell yeah.
Some reports stated he was drinking for at least an hour and partook of the finest stuff the luxury liner had to offer.
She was just like, fuck, I'm going to die wasted.
I have a little drink, Randy. I just had 2 drinks. I'm mowing the air.
I'm fucking rowing the air, man. Just running around with an oar, not even in the water yet.
Just a bottle. Dude. Alright, so Johann began. Alright, so at one point, some of the reports said he was drinking for at least an hour and partook of the finest stuff the luxury liner had to offer. At one point, he heard screams coming from the water, so Johann began throwing deck chairs and whatever he could find overboard that they would float, giving those in the freezing water something to cling on to, which is a good idea, but also this guy's just hammered throwing things. Like running around like, yeah, fuck out of my way. Like,
fucking yard sale.
Just yeeting fucking...
Like a rock band in the 70s or something. Just yeeting TVs out of the fucking hotel room, dude.
He's eating lifeboats. I don't know. Suddenly, the ship began to buckle. Johann made his way to the stern as the ship began to sink. The ship split in half, and the broken off stern settled back into the water before sliding down into the sea. Johann drank until the ship went completely under, riding the sinking stern down in his white uniform until the bitter end. He was the last person to step off.
Fuck.
He survived 2 to 3 hours treading water as people perished around him, freezing to death in the icy North Atlantic.
Good thing he was drinking the fucking liquor. He kept him warm.
His head never went underwater. He eventually was rescued by a returning lifeboat, finally making his way safely aboard the rescue ship RMS Carpathia in the early morning hours. He would arrive in New York on April 15th, one of the 705 survivors of the Titanic disaster. It was said that Charles survived the ordeal because of his inebriated state. Could it be that he was so drunk that the alcohol thinned his blood enough that the hypothermia didn't set in? When asked, he always stated he had taken some liquor, but he only had 1 drink in his cabin before heading topside. Which is the most...
I just have 1 fucking drink.
It's just 1 drink. I swear to God.
It's like an episode of Cops. Like, so how many drinks we had tonight?
Smoke some marijuana, but marijuana's so great.
I had two beers.
Dude, I
sure about that?
I swear to fucking God, that's like the funniest. Because like in my head, it's just Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where he's just like, hey, yo, the fucking boat's going down. What the fuck's wrong with this freaking
just being the guy. I was picturing like the ship like going like that. And he's just hanging
like,
on.
Just having a Leahy Tootski.
He literally has like a fucking bottle of Johnny Walker Black or something, like the most expensive shit.
Blue
but
label,
then
I
to
think,
be the
right?
last, yeah, probably to be the last guy where it's like just going into the water, like he's at the tip of this massive fucking ship, just sitting on the edge, just like probably having a smoke or something. Like, fuck, my ciggies are gonna get wet. Has his cigs floating on like one of the fucking chairs he threw off earlier.
Not to bring
that's terrifying. I don't fucks. We just did that cut out.
Yeah, it did.
That's okay.
That was perfect though. We got. Well, we can keep going. Like we can keep
I
going.
don't fucks with like. Oh fuck! A plane crashing is scary, but for some reason a ship's like sinking in the middle of the ocean. You got sharks and fucking whales and shit. Like
that was what I was confusing the captain with, because I listened to Shane Gillis describing the USS Indianapolis, I believe. That was the one that Quint was on, and Jaws, the one that was delivering all the bomb parts for when we dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima in World War II. And the boat got torpedoed, went down, and then sharks ate the entire crew of this. They were like in the water for 3 days just getting picked off off by sharks. Then the captain of that boat survived. He was supposed to go down with the ship, decided he didn't. And I mean, you can hear this all on their podcast and more concise and entertaining and better. But the captain was getting hate mail because he survived.
On whose podcast?
Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, they described this way better than I'm oversimplifying.
They're both like history buffs. Like, they both are.
I am too. It's just I haven't had an opportunity to really flex knowledge on anything but like film history, and film history just kind of sucks.
Well, because I'm your co-host, and I'm just like.
Do you want me to flex some film history on you?
No, I want you to keep going on this real quick.
Just the sharks were picking people off like one by one. Eventually, like so many people fucking died, but they got rescued that the captain was like getting hate mail from all the fucking families and the people that found out their son just got like
mauled.
Like thousands of people died that way. And
there was something recent where the captain didn't go down like a cruise ship, like
that Italian one, right?
Yeah, he crashed into land, and he was just like, "Fuck this, I'm out." He like ran out the side door and just like bounced. Was
that the one where they had like sewage flowing through like the hallways or whatever? Probably. Fudgy cruise line.
Fuck yeah! Flex your fucking history muscles.
All right, so Russians are the godfather. Like, I don't care what the fuck anybody says about the Lumiere brothers or what's his name, Wizard of Menlo Park guy. What the fuck can't I think of his name?
I've never heard of
Edison, Thomas Edison.
Okay,
they're like the two. They're regarded as like the two godfathers of filmmaking. Like they're like they're like they invented it. Like so, yeah, the Lumiere brothers invented it. I just said his name. Edison perfected it. Thomas Edison. Yeah.
Filmmaking.
Yeah, he
I never knew that. Wasn't he the light bulb?
Yeah. Well,
and
yeah,
it had anything to do with films.
So he fucking stole the idea from these two French dudes, the Lumiere brothers, that had figured out how to create like like imagine like a turn of the century, like late 1800s, early 1900s carnival, where it was like a sideshow attraction. They figured out that if you
there's a moving picture.
Yeah, this guy Edwin Muybridge had figured out on a bet. By the way, it was a beer hall bet. You can look this up. So he had a photograph contraption set up where this photo or this like camera was like set up so it would take like a bunch of exposures in a long line as a horse rode by, because he had a wager with someone at a bar where he's like, I wager that a horse's foot leaves at one point all of its hooves leave the ground. The guy was like, I wager that the one foot is always on the ground. And then they set up this elaborate fucking camera contraption to and Muybridge won. But then it sparked the Lumiere brothers' ideas.
Are all the feet off the ground?
Yeah, he won. The horse does leave all four hooves. But yeah, that sparked the Lumiere brothers. They're like, wait a minute, we could like if you play this like sequentially, it looks like it's moving, and then they kind of figured out what is called the science is called flicker fusion. But if you get kind of the same frame at 24 frames per second, like if you have it stabilized and can make that a consistent exposure, which is what like running a film through a camera would be, or digitally recording like we do, that will create the effect that the naked eye can't discern each individual frame, and you get flicker fusion. So
I love stuff where it's just like chopped images, like even animation stuff.
Yeah. Where you can reduce it too. So like if you slow the frame rate down and then play it at 24 frames per second, like so like 12, it's exposing at 12 frames per second, but like you're playing it at 24, it speeds up. Like so, but then you slow it down, it's taking more, and then you play at 24 frames, it's slow mo. Like it's pretty fucking cool when you like actually like learn about it. And you have to like fuck with the lenses and shit too, because like the more film you expose, the more light you need to let in, because it's getting exposed for less time. So you have to time film as it's moving through the lens differently than you would time it if it was going through at 24. So all slow-mo has like there's high-speed lenses because you're using high-speed film, but also like the actual speed of the film going through the camera affects how bright the picture turns out, believe it or not. Like, but anyway, back to the Lumiere brothers. So the Lumiere brothers are around for like a decade, and this Russian dude, his name is Sergei Eisenstein. Oh, and also, like, I guess I got to give a shout out to Sergei Mikhailovich Prudin-Gorsky. He's this Russian guy that in like the 1860s figured out that if you dye film different colors, like if you take multiple exposures and you time the dye on the film when you're making the actual like picture, like when you're in the dark room making your exposures into a like turning celluloid into a photo. Mm-hmm. If you make the exposure a couple of times so you have that same frame to work with, you can layer it and time the exposure at different intervals so that it comes out with different hues and like a little bit of dye to help you out. So like you dye one red and one blue and then one in black and white and then one in yellow. And if you layer them over top of each other, you created color photography. So this dude like figured this out like in 1860 when they were still printing photos on plates because they hadn't really figured out how to turn silver halide into like a flexible transportable thing. So you just take halide and smear it on silver and then put it in the thing and then leave it there, and it exposes the light very slowly. So like, you know, like nobody's smiling in old pictures. It's because it took forever. Like it had to expose. Yeah, it's like it would take like 5 minutes to make an exposure. Like all the pictures of Lincoln, the motherfucker looks miserable because he's got to sit there for 15 minutes because they're trying to figure out how much emulsion to add to it, and then like whether or not there was like a light. Like you'd always tell how shitty.
I thought they didn't smile because they had fucked up teeth.
Well, that also, but like that's why they didn't smile on paintings. I think that's more the meme or whatever. But anyway, so this guy Sergey, that's like he's like the godfather of like Russian like ingenuity when it comes to like filmmaking, like just in general. Sergey Mikhailovich Prudin-Gorsky.
Shout out to Sergey.
Yeah, and so he did it. So then there's this other guy, early 1900s, Sergei Eisenstein. He worked for the Communist Party, and he made all these like kind of propaganda films once the communists took over and shit. Like there's this one really famous one called Battleship Potemkin, and this other one called Strike, which it's like all about like the bourgeoisie getting overthrown by the proletariat and shit like that. But he was a fucking alcoholic motherfucker.
He's Russian.
He's Russian. So you have these things when you're editing film. It's called a Steenbeck, a flatbed editor. So like back before you had a computer, imagine like the computer setup you have where you have a screen in front of you. That's your picture. But then instead of you having like keyboard, you have a bunch of like reel to reels. So like 1 1 2 2 3 3, and then like 1 is your audio track, 1 is your film track, and then like 1 is like your transfer track, like where you edit sometimes. But like the ones I used were real rudimentary. You're just running like 1 strip of film through it. But this guy was like running his dailies, like he was taking like exposures with his camera and like running the film through it. And he's like, if I cut it and take this and put it over here, and then take this and put it over here, and then ram them together like train cars on the track when you have drunk driver, that makes new idea. And he is this drunk fucking Russian dude just invented editing. That's what editing comes from. It's some fucking drunk guy that was like, if you ram train together, it makes new idea. Like, and that's the fucking coolest thing to me. Like, I thought that, like, when I read that, I was like, no fucking shit. Yeah, this guy, Sergei Eisenstein, made a bunch of fucking really cool movies. But yeah, he just thought, like, he had this drunk idea, like, and then Russian.
He's just hammered, ripping a dart, and just like,
just probably drinking fucking alcohol that's like refined with like a fucking lead, like base or whatever, like some gasoline,
basically like absinthe at that point.
Yeah. All right, we're at an hour and 40 minutes.
He's so bad. Yeah, my eyes been like twitching about it for the last 10 minutes.
I'm like about to pass out. You got anything to plug?
No, go fuck yourselves.
Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the Patreon. Fucking go fuck yourself.
I'm gay.